Mrs. Shiny Side here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video where I use a bunch of products that are new to me and put them on my face. Let's go ahead and get into it. I like to start off by taking off my jewelry because I am messy. The primer that we're using today is going to be the NYX First Base Primer Spray. Looks like that. I actually picked this up at Goodwill. Target donates clearance products, including makeup, to Goodwill. And so this is normally $7.99 and I got it for $1.99. And I am going to be using a new sponge today. This is an Aesthetica beauty sponge. It's latex free. It looks like that, just a normal black beauty sponge. I am going to go wet it. I just wanted to show it to you in the packaging. I got this off of Amazon, so I will be right back. So now it is nice and wet and it grew a lot. It's definitely nice and squishy, but it still feels kind of dense. So I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that. The foundation that we're using today is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour. I got mine in the shade 110 Porcelain. This is supposed to be a pretty comparable product to the Fenty foundation. It has a pump, which is awesome. Put 3 pumps in the back of my hand. Definitely a good amount of coverage here. The last foundation that I tried that was new to me was the CoverFX Natural Finish, I think, or something like that, foundation. And that I used with a sponge and a brush. And either way, it was just natural, not very high coverage, I don't think. So I don't know if you can see the difference. I have the product on this side of my face. I don't have any product on that side of my face. I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't seem to be settling into my pores too badly. Because that primer spray is definitely more for hydration than it is for pores, obviously. Definitely drying down, but it doesn't feel cakey, at least not to me. You can definitely tell what they mean about it changing colors, like the Fenty one, it dries down darker, and I definitely feel like this one is doing the same thing. Alright, there we are. Foundation's on. I will have to keep you posted. I will update you once I've had this foundation on for a considerable amount of time and just let you know how it wears. I have normal to dry skin, but in the summertime I can get a little shiny, just sweaty, but I will keep you posted. The next product is not brand new to me, but it is a new color, so I wanted to include it in here anyways. So what I'm going to do is actually swatch the product original form that I have and then the new version of it. So the original one that I have is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the original lightest shade, which is Fair 5, and this definitely dries down darker and was too dark for me anyway, so there's the initial swatch. And now I have the Fair 04 shade, which is not the lightest. They actually have a white color. You can definitely tell the difference there in shades. And I'm just going to quickly put the original one next to itself just so you can see the difference, because look at the difference already. These two are the same concealer. This is when it's wet and this is when it's had a chance to set down. I still feel like this one does dry down a bit deeper, but it's not as bad. So this is Fair 04 dried down, and then this is Fair 04 when it's wet. So there's definitely still oxidation happening, but this being the lightest shade, considering that this on my hand is my foundation shade, definitely did not work for me all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new one, Fair 04, under my eyes. While I'm letting that set under my eyes, I wanted to show you something that I posted on my Instagram. If you're not following me there, I am Mrs. Shiny Side there as well. I took the RCMA No Color Powder, which is in everyone's least favorite packaging, and I actually bought a empty powder container on Amazon and put it in here. So now I'm actually able to use the product without making as much of a mess. So that's what I'm going to be setting my under eyes with today, just because I don't really have an opinion on it, because I rarely use it because of the packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and blend my under eyes and then set them with the RCMA. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder. Looks like that, in the shade Translucent. The only downside to using a powder with a smaller packaging is that I can't use my giant powder brush, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to set my face. Do I think I needed to set this? No. I know it dries down matte from the reviews I've seen on it, but I still wanted to try this powder. Now I'm moving over to the Covergirl Peach Punch Highlighter Palette, which is just a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush. Looks like that. It does smell like peaches. Now to do this, I am actually going to use a brand new brush that I got. I got the Sephora Featherweight Powder Brush in the number 93, Pro Featherweight Blending. This is actually on clearance, normally $30, it's on clearance for $15. It is the Weekly Wow, and the reviews I saw on it were if you wanted to use this for like highlight, it would be really good, or bronzer or blush for those who have fair skin if they just want a very light hand. So going in with the bronzer from this palette, these are very powdery. Is this a total gimmick? Yes. But did I want to support Too Faced? No. Alright, now to the blush. I'm going to take the Luxie Tapered Highlighter Brush that we got in our Boxy Charm last month. Because this blush is so powdery, you can definitely go overboard with it, so be prepared to blend over it with your powder brush if you do that. Now we're going to be moving on to the highlighter. I have not worn this on my face yet. I'm going to take that Sephora brush. Definitely on the more natural side for me. I'm not usually crazy for pink highlighters. I don't think this looks as much of a highlight as it looks like a blush topper. Overall verdict so far, not such a huge fan of this. I'm glad I got it so I have something like it in my collection, but am I really in love with all the shades? No, and I feel like that's kind of the point of getting a trio. Womp womp. Now before I go any farther, I am going to go ahead and take my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the lids. Now for brows, we are going to go ahead and use the Total Temptation Brow Definer. I have mine in the shade Blonde. Got mine at Target. It has the security protector on it. I don't know if the person at the checkout was supposed to take this off and they just didn't. I did buy it. Now this intrigued me because it has the itsy bitsiest spoolie I've ever seen, as well as it's that angled tip. So let's go ahead and try it and see what we think. Brush through the brows. The shape of it's throwing me off a little bit. Definitely a warm color, especially when I know that this is supposed to be for blondes. Most blondes need something that's like taupe and less brown, more taupe, but it's like almost like a little kite shape tip. I'm not having to apply a lot of pressure to get the product to build. It's also not super creamy, so I don't feel like it's just gliding over everything. I'm having to kind of work at it a little bit. I did put some ombre in my hair. I did a little bit of lightening on my roots, but then I also lightened my ends up a little bit, so I do have a little warmer hair right now. So I feel like the color works. It's just not what I was expecting when I bought it. obviously one brow, no brow. Let's use a little spoolie and see if that can, okay, I like the design of the spoolie. Blended it. It did take some of the coverage away though, in certain areas. All right, I definitely don't hate it, I'm just not used to it yet. So we'll go to the other brow. Definitely worn the tip down. This next product I'm giving a second chance to. Hopefully I like it better this time around. It is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. Mariah here on YouTube talks about how she likes this, but I think she likes this because she actually has brows. It's kind of a weird looking wand, very flat, very spiky, and I don't really know that this works for me, but I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna scrape off as much of the product that I can because I feel like it just got really out of control. And maybe that's just because it's brand new and it has a lot of product on it. It gets better with age, but this is a very strange thing. I gotta give it to him. I mean, it's unique. It's not everybody doing the same thing, but ooh, brows are too narrow for this. Do you ever use a brow gel and you feel like you're not getting your hairs as much as you're hitting your skin? That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm actually gonna take the spoolie from the Total Temptation and try to like salvage it a bit and fluff them back up. It's doing that weird thing where it's like balling up in my brows now that I'm brushing through it. Sorry guys, I just don't think I can get this to work, not until I have fuller brows. Maybe if you have like naturally full brows you can make that work. Moving on. We are going to go ahead and use the new Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Looks like that. Not gonna lie, the packaging is beautiful, but that's not what sucked me in. Look at these colors, guys. Look at these colors. I need them. And after I saw Shay's review and Samantha Jane's review on it, I was sold. I was sold. So I am going to start off by putting Breakaway under the brow bone. So I took Breakaway and I put that on my brow bone, and now I'm going to take Weekender. Ooh, that's very powdery. Put that in the crease. These are very blendable. They also have quite a bit of dustiness in the pan. I don't know if you can see that, but pretty dusty. I'm fine with that. I'm going to take that first brush, which is a crease brush, but it's a little bit tapered, and I am going to go ahead and put Riff just below that in the crease. I'm going to take that crease brush and I'm just going to smooth it all over. want to put something on the lid. So we are going to go ahead and put Blaze on the lid. I'm going to go ahead and take a tiny amount of Good As Gone and really put it in the outer V. Basically where you want your wing to go. Going back with the brush again, just kind of smoothing it over. Now I look crazy, but I'm wearing a very bright lip, so I do not want to use crazy colors in here. Since my eyes have gotten so intense. Now, personally, you know, I'm gonna mix highlights here. I did get a new Colourpop highlighter, so I want to go ahead and use that. I got the shade here, Kitty Kitty, in one of their magnetic palettes right there. I'm gonna go over the highlight that I have, because I didn't think I liked that Covergirl one enough. Moving on to some eyeliner. This is a Sephora Play sample that I received. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. It's in black. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a wing liner. This is always the good wing. It's always the bad wing. It's starting to get a little choppy, guys. Ooh. Not my favorite, really not my favorite, but it's not about if it's good or not, it's about how it wears, because application is all about learning with eyeliners. I don't have a mascara that's new to me, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Voluminous Lash Paradise in the waterproof version. On to the last step that we have, we're going to go in with a super crazy hot pink lip. We're going to use the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the shade Pink Electro, and we're going to fill it in with the Liquid Katsu from Wet n Wild in Oh My Dolly, since the eyes are not super loud and crazy. I have a feeling this is going to stain my lips. What do you think? I think it's going to stain my lips. Alright guys, so overall rundown. First face primer spray for $1.99. I think it's not bad. I think it's basically just a hydrating mist that you could say you could use over makeup too. You probably wouldn't want to use this after you did like mascara or liquid lipstick or anything, but overall I like it. I am very impressed with the formulation of the Colourpop concealer and how it has changed already, and gone to a wider shade range, and with this one not oxidizing as bad and being lighter to start with than the old formula. I still like to use the old formula, especially once I get a deeper tan going. I can wear this, or if I don't want as much brightening, but when I'm at my fairest, this was never light enough for me. The sponge is okay. I think sponge application is something that is important to judge it, but I also think wear is how I'm going to judge it, because sometimes they're really good to use, but then you can like grip them wrong and like put nail puncture marks in. No, I don't have anything right now that's wrong with it, but you will see this in my sponge video, which will be coming eventually. The Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, I really like this. It definitely dries a little bit darker. I got this in the exact same shade I have in the Maybelline Fit Me foundations, and I will definitely write a little bit in the description box below some more thoughts that I have after wearing this for a few hours. The RCMA under my eyes, I really like it. I have not tested the flashback, but people say it's no color powder because it doesn't have flashback. Well, maybe a couple of times, but in like a year. Now that it's in this, I've already used it twice, and it's a lot easier to use, so I will continue to use this. The Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder was fine. The only downside to having small packaging like this is that I can't use my normal powder brush because it won't fit. but this is only my first time using it. Is it wowing me enough to rave about it? No, but I don't know that many powders can do that for me because I'm not an oily skin person, but excited to have it in my collection. Trio from Covergirl, very cute, very gimmicky. I think I'll continue to use the bronzer and the blush in here, but the highlight I'm not using. And I have used the single highlight as well, and this is just a glitter bomb that doesn't give you much payoff either. So I don't know what they did with the highlighters in this collection. So far, the Born to Run palette by Urban Decay, super excited to have it. I really want to mess around with more of the actual colorful colors down in here, like the blues and stuff, and the greens. Very excited to have that in my collection. I feel like it's a collector's item too, just because of the packaging, right? Like, it's beautiful. Oh, I really like the Total Temptation eyebrow pencil. It's not the biggest or smallest in my collection, but I do like it. The color just threw me off a bit. I gotta say, I have not been able to get the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer to work for me. This is on clearance everywhere, at pretty much every Target I find, so I don't think that many people like this. So I'm sorry, Mariah. I don't think I have enough brows to like this, so this will probably live out the rest of its days in my brow drawer. Maybe featured in a different video, but not in a very good way, these two products. The Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit and the Gel Lip Liner, I love these. I think they're awesome. I just wanted to get a lot more crazy colors. This is not something that I normally gravitate towards, but I want to have the courage to wear brighter colors more often. I even went and got a teal color, and a black, and a gray, and an orange. So I really want to get myself out of my comfort zone because I have a good collection going. I just don't always wear it. Definitely don't think I'm going to be continuing to use the Covergirl highlight, but I do want to shout out the Colourpop Here Kitty Kitty highlight, which is, this one that I used today with this Sephora Featherweight Blending Powder Brush. Whatever. I really like this. It's a very large brush, but I really think that you can just effortlessly place your highlight on your cheekbones, tip of the nose, and all that stuff. It's very fluffy. Sephora brushes are really great quality, cruelty-free brushes, and I really do like that I've got all my highlighters in here now. Excited to have that in my collection. And if you haven't already put this in your Sephora cart, find it in store. That's what I did. I found mine at Sephora inside JCPenney, and this is on sale for $15. Just to give you scale of some other highlighting brushes I know that a lot of people enjoy. This is the size of this brush next to the Wet n Wild highlighting brush that just came out, so it's quite a bit bigger than that. And then another brush that I know a lot of people use for highlighting is the Morphe 510. That is more similar to the Wet n Wild brush in size, and this is still much bigger. The only other brush that I use for highlighting that is kind of in the same range as this is the Up and Up version of the Anastasia, I think it's like A23 or something brush, but even then that's still quite a bit smaller than this is, and it's much more dense. This is a lot less dense, a lot longer bristles. Alright guys, well that is everything that I'm going to be testing out in this video. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already and ring the bell, that way you'll be notified anytime that I upload. Feel free to follow me on my other social media. I am Mrs. Shynyside on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and I am Stephanie Shynyside on Facebook and Pinterest. And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye guys!